So now that we have our basic map, let's make a hotspot analysis. But before we do that, let's do a little cleaning up. So in our title here, we have Seattle residential building permits. We have an underscore though. When you make your final maps, you don't want to have underscores in the legend or title, things like that. And these will often carry over into other parts of the map. So for example, if you went to our legend, we're going to have this underscore, and the reason for that is because this is our layer with an underscore. So let's change that. So here, let's go and put a little hyphen there. And then also, sometimes in these organizational accounts, a lot of students are saving the same file or the same web map with the same title. And sometimes that can cause a problem. So it's always best to just include your initials after these layers, files. So we click OK. And let's go here and change this as well. So then we can go to rename, and then we can just put a little hyphen there, say OK. And so now if you notice, if you go to the legend, it looks much cleaner than having an underscore there. So we did that. We can go back to our layers. Now let's go and create a hotspot analysis. We did this in a previous lab, and here we can also do it in ArcGIS Online. So we want to go to Analysis, and then we want to click on Tools, and then under Tools we want to Analyze Patterns, and we want to do a Find Hotspots. So for the layer, we're going to select our building permits, and we'll leave the defaults here. Now we have to give it a name. Let's give it a name here, building permits. We'll leave the underscore in here because it will not like a dash in the name. And then let's give it my initials. You should give it your initials. Then where you're going to save it, this is just the default to your content page. You can create it in the Seattle building permits. I'm going to put mine there. So another thing, so when you're running these tools in ArcGIS Online, they use something called credits. And so if you were to be working for the government or some kind of agency, you would have to purchase credits from Esri. And so in order to figure out how many credits this is going to use, we can click on the estimate credits. And this is going to use 15.8 credits. How much money that is, I don't recall off the top of my head, but you can put into just Google and type credits cost, and it'll tell you that. But that's something you should be aware of if you're working for a company. When you're at a university, Esri gives the university credits, and so you don't have to worry about that. So if you do run out of the allotted credits, you can email me, and then I can have somebody assign credits for you. So let's run that analysis. So it looks like it finished up that, and so then we can go to add. We just click on add there, under my content, and then we can see that it added the building permit. Although what I did forget to do is when I created this, I just permit and I forgot to put hotspot in the title. So let's just go and fix that. We can go rename and put hotspot, and then OK. So now we have that. So now we have our hotspots. Let's make sure we save that. So now we have our layer. We can turn this off. So we have just our building permits, and then we have our hotspots. We can also look at our legend, and we can see our hotspots and building permits. So I think we have all the maps that we want to create for our dashboard. So we will save this again and move on to creating our dashboard. But before we do that, one final thing here. Let's go and rename this. Get rid of this underscore. Put that in there. Okay. and save it again. And now we're ready to start building our dashboard.